The stellar harmony moved through space like a giant metal whale. Its hull was made of the strongest materials known to the galaxy. Inside, different alien species worked together on their mission to explore new worlds. Taemin wiped sweat from his face as he worked on the ship's engine. The fusion core hummed loudly in front of him. Blue light filled the small room where he spent most of his days. His hands moved quickly over the control panel, checking numbers and fixing small problems. "Another human working alone," said a voice behind him. Taemin turned around. Velkhani stood in the doorway. She was 8 feet tall with skin that looked like blue crystal. Her people, the Veltar, were known across the galaxy for being almost impossible to hurt. Their crystal skin could stop laser blasts and survive in space without protection. "Good morning, Velkhani," Taemin said politely. He went back to his work. "I still do not understand why Captain Zorthak allows humans on deep space missions," Velkhani said. She walked closer, her crystal feet making clicking sounds on the metal floor. "Your species is so breakable." Taemin said nothing. He had heard this many times before. "Look at you," Velkhani continued. "You need special air to breathe. You need the temperature to be just right. Too much radiation and you die. Too little food and you get weak. Your skin tears if you touch something sharp. Yet here I am keeping your engines running," Taemin said quietly. Velkhani laughed. The sound was like breaking glass. "Yes, but for how long? Humans live maybe 100 years. I have lived for 800 years already. My grandmother is over 3,000 years old." Taemin finished his work and closed the engine panel. "Is there something you need, Velkhani?" "Captain Zorthak wants to see you on the bridge," she said. "Something about the next mission." Taemin nodded and picked up his tools. As he walked past Velkhani, she spoke again. "Be careful, human. Deep space is dangerous. It is no place for fragile things." The bridge of the stellar harmony was huge. Large windows showed the stars outside. Different alien species worked at control stations around the room. Captain Zorthak stood in the center. He looked like a giant insect with 4 arms and compound eyes that could see in all directions. His people, the Kithara, were known for their smart minds and perfect teamwork. They could share thoughts with each other without speaking. "Ah, Taemin," the captain said. His voice buzzed like a bee. "Come here." Near the captain stood Lumiès. She looked like a person made of bright light. Her people, the Lumini, could change from solid to energy and back again. They could walk through walls and travel at the speed of light. "We are planning our next mission," Captain Zorthak said. "But first tell me about the engine repairs." "All systems are working perfectly," Taemin reported. "The fusion core is running at full power. I replaced 3 worn parts and updated the cooling system." "Good," the captain buzzed. "Now about our mission." "Wait," Lumiès interrupted. Her voice sounded like wind chimes. "Should we really discuss important missions in front of a human?" Taemin felt his face get hot, but he stayed quiet. "What do you mean?" Captain Zorthak asked. "Humans are known to be emotional," Lumiès said. Her light body flickered. "They make decisions based on feelings instead of logic. They get scared easily. They panic under pressure." "That is not fair," said a new voice. Everyone turned to look. Dr. Hyejin walked onto the bridge. She was the ship's chief medical officer and the only other human on the crew. "Humans have served on galactic ships for 50 years, she said firmly. "We have proven ourselves many times." Velkhani entered the bridge behind her. "Have you? Your species has the worst survival rate in deep space. More humans die on missions than any other species." "That is because we take risks to help others," Dr. Hyejin replied. "Or because you are weak," Velkhani said coldly. Captain Zorthak raised one of his forearms. "Enough. We are all crew members here." But the damage was done. Taemin could see the other aliens looking at him and Dr. Hyejin with doubt in their eyes. "Let me ask you something," said Korvex, a Veltar engineer. "How long can you survive in space without a suit?" About 15 seconds, Taman answered honestly. I can survive for 3 hours, Korvax said proudly. My crystal skin protects me. How much radiation can you handle? Asked Thexus, a Kythera scientist. Not much, Dr. Hygiene admitted. Too much radiation makes us sick or kills us. Pathetic, Thexus buzzed. Kythera can work in radiation fields that would cook human flesh in minutes. Lumias floated closer. What about energy attacks? Can humans phase through laser beams? No, Taman said. We cannot. Then how do you expect to survive dangerous missions? Lumias asked. Every other species has natural defenses. Veltar have crystal skin. Kythera have hive minds and tough shells. Lumini can become energy and avoid all physical attacks. What do humans have? Taman thought for a moment. We have tools. We have preparation. We have determination. The bridge fell silent. Then Velkani started laughing again. Tools break. Preparation fails. Determination means nothing when you are dead. Humans are useful for simple tasks, Captain, Zorthak said diplomatically. But for dangerous missions we need hardy species. Taman nodded. He was used to this treatment. Ever since humans had joined the galactic community, they had been seen as the weak species, the baby species, the ones who needed protection. Other species had evolved on harsh worlds with terrible conditions. They had grown strong and tough over millions of years. Humans had evolved on a gentle world with mild weather and plenty of food. At least that was what everyone believed. I should get back to work, Taman said. Yes, Captain Zorthak agreed. Keep our engines running, human. That is what your species does best. As Taman walked toward the door, he heard the aliens talking behind him. I heard that humans actually cry when they get hurt, Korvax said. They also need 8 hours of sleep every day, Thexus added. So inefficient. And they eat so much food, Lumias commented. Their bodies waste so much energy. Taman left the bridge and walked back to the engine room. Dr. Hygiene followed him. Do not let them get to you, she said softly. They do not understand humans. Maybe they are right, Taman said. Maybe we are too fragile for deep space. No, Dr. Hygiene said firmly. We are different, not weak. Someday they will understand. Taman returned to his work, but he could not stop thinking about what the aliens had said. Around the galaxy, humans were known as the fragile species, the weak ones, the ones who needed help to survive. But as Taman worked on the powerful engines that pushed their ship through space, he wondered if the aliens really understood what strength meant. Outside the ship, the stars burned cold and distant. Somewhere out there, that understanding would be tested. 3 days later, the stellar harmony found something amazing. Captain, called Nexon, the ship's scanner operator. I am reading a large object ahead. It appears to be a ship. Captain Zorthak's compound eyes focused on the main screen. A huge, dark shape floated in space near a dying red star. The ship was at least twice the size of the stellar harmony. How old is it? The captain asked. Nexon's fingers moved over his control panel. The metal shows extreme age. This ship has been floating, here for thousands of years. Any life signs? Asked Velkani. None. The ship is completely dead. Dr. Hygiene stepped forward. What species built it? Unknown, Nexon replied. The design does not match any known civilization in our databases. Captain Zorthak rubbed his mandibles together. This was how Kythera showed excitement. An ancient ship from an unknown species. This could be the discovery of the century. The bridge crew gathered around the main screen. The dead ship looked mysterious and beautiful. Strange symbols covered its hull. Parts of it seemed to glow with a faint light. Look at those markings, whispered Thexus. I have never seen writing like that. The metal itself is unknown, added Korvax. Those readings show materials we have never encountered. Lumias floated closer to the screen. Her light body flickered with interest. There are energy readings coming from inside the ship. Something is still powered after all these years. Could be treasure. Velkani said. Her crystal eyes gleamed. Ancient technology, weapons, knowledge. Captain Zorthak made his decision. We will board the ship and explore. This is too important to ignore. Sir, Dr. Haijin said carefully, the ship is very close to that dying star. Radiation levels must be extremely high. Nothing we cannot handle, Velkani said proudly. Veltar, crystal skin protects us from radiation. The lumini can phase through any dangerous areas, Lumius added. And Kythera shells are nearly indestructible, Captain Zorthak buzzed with confidence. Taemin had been listening quietly from his station. Captain, I would like to volunteer for the away team. The bridge fell silent. Several aliens turned to stare at him. Excuse me? Velkani said. I am the ship's chief engineer, Taemin said. If there is ancient technology on that ship, you will need someone who understands complex systems. Velkani laughed. Human, that ship is floating next to a dying star. The radiation would kill you in minutes. I have protective equipment, Taemin replied. Your primitive suits cannot protect you from that level of radiation, Korvax said. Even our advanced Veltar equipment would be pushed to its limits. Captain. Zorthak shook his head. I appreciate your enthusiasm, Taemin, but this mission is too dangerous for humans. We need hardy species only. But Captain, Taemin started. The decision is final, Captain Zorthak said firmly. You will monitor our progress from here. That is an order. Taemin felt his face burn with shame, but he nodded. Yes, sir. Captain Zorthak began selecting his away team. Velkani, you will lead security. Take Korvex and Braxis with you. 3 Veltar should be enough protection. Yes, Captain, Velkani said. Her crystal form seemed to grow brighter. Lumius, bring 2 of your people. Your phasing abilities may be needed if we encounter locked doors or force fields. We will be ready, Lumius chimed. Thexus, Vorthan, and Hexus will handle scientific analysis. The Kythera mind link will help us share discoveries instantly. The selected aliens buzzed with excitement. This was the kind of mission that made careers. Ancient alien technology could advance their species by thousands of years. What about preparation time? Dr. Haijin asked. We need none, Velkani said. Our natural abilities are all the preparation we need. Veltar skin protects us from everything, Korvex added. Radiation, heat, cold, vacuum. We are living armor. Lumini can become pure energy if needed, Lumius said. Physical dangers cannot touch us. And Kythera have survived in the harshest environments in the galaxy, Thexus buzzed proudly. Taemin watched them prepare. The aliens moved with confidence and pride. They barely checked their equipment. Why would they need to? Their bodies, or their equipment? Dr. Haijin stood beside Taemin. They are so sure of themselves, she whispered. They have reason to be, Taemin replied. Their species have natural advantages we do not. Still, Dr. Haijin said quietly, I have a bad feeling about this. 2 hours later, the away team was ready to leave. They gathered in the shuttle bay, their various forms creating a strange but impressive group. Velkani and her 2 Veltar companions looked like walking statues made of blue crystal. Their skin reflected the shuttle bay lights. They carried powerful weapons, but their bodies were their real protection. Lumi S and her people looked like beings made of starlight. They flickered between solid and energy forms, practicing their phasing abilities. The 3 Kythera scientists buzzed to each other in their shared mind language. Their insect bodies were covered in natural armor that could stop bullets. Remember, Captain Zorthak announced, we do not know what we will find on that ship. Stay together. Report everything. Do not take unnecessary risks. Sir, Velkani said, with respect, what risks could there be? The ship is dead. Our combined abilities can handle any situation. Famous last words, Dr. Haijin muttered, but only Taemin heard her. The away team boarded their shuttle. Taemin watched from the observation deck as the small ship left the stellar harmony and flew toward the ancient derelict. I should be with them, he said. They made their choice, Dr. Haijin replied. They think natural abilities are better than human preparation. On the bridge, the crew watched the shuttle's progress on the main screen. The radiation levels near the dead ship were incredible. The dying star poured out energy that would cook most life forms instantly. Radiation levels are off the charts, Nexon reported, but the away team seems unaffected. Of course, Captain Zorthak said proudly. Hardy species do not fear radiation. The shuttle reached the ancient ship and found a docking port. Velkhani's voice came over the comm system. Stellar Harmony. This is the away team. We have successfully docked. Beginning exploration now. Understood, Captain Zorthak replied. Report every 30 minutes. Sir, Velkhani said. The ship's hull is amazing. The metal is stronger than anything in our databases. And these symbols, they seem to pulse with their own light. Fascinating. Thexis added over the comm. The technology here could change everything we know about engineering. Taimin listened to their reports with growing interest. The ancient ship sounded incredible. Its builders had clearly been master engineers. I wish I could see it, he said. To Dr. Hyojin, maybe it is better that you cannot, she replied. Something feels wrong about this. On the screen, they could see the away team's shuttle attached to the huge ancient ship like a small bug on a giant's shoulder. The dying star cast everything in an eerie red light. Away team reporting, came Lumies's voice. We have entered the ship. The corridors are enormous, built for beings much larger than any of us. Any signs of technology? Captain Zorthak asked. Everywhere, Thexis replied excitedly. Control panels, power conduits, systems we do not recognize. This ship is a treasure trove of advanced science. Stay focused, Velkhani commanded. We explore systematically. No one goes off alone. But Taimin could hear the excitement in all their voices. They had found something amazing, and their natural superiority was letting them explore it safely, or so they thought. Beginning deep exploration now, Velkhani reported. We'll contact you in 30 minutes. The comm system went quiet. On the bridge, everyone waited eagerly for the next report. Taimin stared at the ancient ship on the screen. Something about it made him nervous. It looked too perfect, too inviting, like a trap waiting to spring. But the aliens were so confident in their natural abilities. What could possibly go wrong? He was about to find out. Still no word from the away team, Nexon reported from his station. Captain Zorthak's compound eyes showed worry. Try to contact them. Stellar Harmony to away team. Please respond. Silence. Away team, this is Stellar Harmony. Report your status immediately. Still nothing. Taimin felt his stomach twist with fear. Something is wrong. Equipment failure, Velkhani's second-in-command said. The radiation near that star must be interfering with communications. But Dr. Hyojin shook her head. Their equipment was designed to work in high radiation. This is something else. Captain Zorthak paced across the bridge. His forearms moved nervously. Keep trying to contact them. Stellar Harmony to away team. Emergency protocols are now in effect. Respond immediately. The comm system crackled. A weak signal came through, filled with static and strange noises. Stellar Harmony. It was Velkhani's voice, but she sounded different. Scared. Emergency, need help. Velkhani, Captain Zorthak called. What is your situation? The signal got stronger for a moment. Ship's defenses activated, trapped, separated. What defenses? The ship is dead. Not dead. Sleeping. We woke it up. Ancient systems, everywhere. The signal faded again. Captain Zorthak tried desperately to get more information. Velkhani, respond. What kind of defenses? Static filled the comm for several seconds. Then Thexis's voice came through, high with panic. Bulkhead sealed. Cannot reach others. Something is burning. Not normal fire. Energy fire. Energy. Fire? Dr. Hyojin asked. What does that mean? More voices came through the static. Lumies sounded terrified. Cannot phase. Something blocking our abilities, trapped in solid form. The fire burns even energy. That's impossible, someone on the bridge whispered. Korvax's voice came next, filled with pain. Crystal skin. Not working. This energy. It cuts through everything and even Veltar armor. The bridge fell silent except for the crackling static. The crew stared at each other in shock. Did he say their crystal skin is not working? Nexon asked quietly. Veltar skin can stop anything, another alien protested. Lasers, bullets, radiation, nothing cuts through crystal skin. But Korvax's voice came again, weaker now. Burning. Through everything, never seen energy like this. Captain Zorthak's mandibles clicked rapidly. This was how Kithara showed extreme stress. How is this possible? Our species have the strongest natural defenses in the galaxy. Taemin stepped forward. Captain, let me analyze the energy readings from that ship. This is not the time for human theories, someone snapped. Please, Taemin insisted. I might be able to help. Captain Zorthak looked at him for a moment, then nodded. Do it. Taemin moved to a scanner station and began studying the data from the ancient ship. Numbers and graphs filled his screen. His eyes moved quickly over the information. The energy signatures are strange, he said, but not completely unknown. What do you mean? Dr. Hyojin asked. This energy, it's like plasma fire but modified, somehow, made more dangerous. The comm crackled again. This time it was Vorthan, one of the Kithara scientists. Reactor, going critical. The ship's power source. It's overloading. We triggered something. Get out of there, Captain Zorthak commanded. Cannot. Sealed in. Passages blocked. Fire everywhere. Hexus's voice joined in, full of despair. Hive mind connection. Broken. Cannot think together. Alone. So alone. The Kithara hive mind is being disrupted? Dr. Hyojin asked in amazement. That should be impossible. Taemin continued studying the scanner readings. The energy is interfering with their natural abilities. It's specifically designed to counter different alien defenses. Designed? Captain Zorthak asked sharply. You mean, this is intentional? I think so. This ship, it's not just a derelict. It's a trap. As if to prove his point, Lumi S's voice came through the comm, filled with terror. The fire, it follows us like it's alive, hunting us. We cannot escape. My people can become pure energy, Captain Zorthak said, confused. How can fire hunt energy beings? Because it's not normal fire, Taemin explained. Look at these readings. The energy adapts to whatever it touches. It becomes the perfect counter to each species' natural defenses. Velkani's voice returned, weaker than before. Hull, breaching, ship falling apart, reactor going to explode. Estimate, 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Captain Zorthak buzzed in panic. Not enough time to mount a rescue. No rescue possible, Braxis's voice added sadly. Energy levels, too high, would kill any rescue team. The bridge crew looked at each other helplessly. Their strongest, most naturally gifted crew members were trapped on a dying ship, and there was nothing they could do about it. There has to be something, Dr. Hyojin said desperately. What? Captain Zorthak asked. The energy levels would kill Veltar. It disrupts Lumini phasing. It breaks Kithara hive minds. No known species can survive in those conditions. Taemin stared at his scanner readings. Something was bothering him about the energy signatures. They looked familiar somehow. Wait, he said suddenly. These energy levels, they're high but not impossibly high. What do you mean? Captain Zorthak asked. For human equipment, I mean. This energy, it's like the plasma we use in our industrial systems back on Earth. Dangerous, yes, but manageable with the right protection. Human equipment? Velkani's second-in-command laughed bitterly. Your primitive gear could never handle energy that cuts through Veltar crystal. But Taemin was already thinking. Human technology was different from alien technology. Humans had evolved on a gentler world, so they built stronger protection. Other species relied on their natural gifts. Humans relied on their tools. The temperature readings, he said, pointing at his screen. 2,000 degrees, that's hot, but human hazmat suits can handle 3,000 degrees for short periods. Impossible, someone said. The radiation levels, Taman continued. High, but within human safety margins if properly shielded. You're dreaming, another alien protested. Thexus's voice came through the comm again, very weak now. 10 minutes, maybe less. Reactor critical. Captain Zorthak turned to Taman. Are you saying what I think you're saying? I'm saying human equipment might be able to survive in there. Briefly. Human equipment built for fragile human bodies, Dr. Hyjin added, understanding. Equipment designed to protect the weakest species in the galaxy. The comm crackled one more time. Velkani's voice was barely a whisper. Anyone who can hear this, tell our families. We tried our best. Natural gifts. Not enough. Sorry. Taman looked at Captain Zorthak. Let me try. Taman, no, Dr. Hyjin said. It's suicide. Maybe, Taman replied. But they're going to die if no one tries, and I'm the only one whose equipment might work. Captain Zorthak's compound eyes focused on the human engineer. Around the galaxy, humans were known as the fragile species, the weak ones, the ones who needed protection. But now, when the strongest species in the galaxy were helpless, only the fragile humans had a chance. Do it, Captain Zorthak said quietly. Taman nodded and ran toward the shuttle bay. Behind him, the comm system carried the fading voices of the trapped-away team. Time was running out. Taman ran through the corridors of the stellar harmony. His heart pounded in his chest. Behind him, he could hear Dr. Hyjin's footsteps as she followed. Taman, wait, she called. This is crazy. He stopped at the equipment room and began pulling on his hazmat suit. The heavy white suit was designed for the most dangerous jobs on human ships. Other species had laughed at it, calling it clunky and primitive. Help me with this, he said, struggling with the helmet connections. Dr. Hyjin's hands shook as she helped him. The radiation levels will kill you, the heat will cook you alive. Maybe, Taman said, checking his suit's systems. But I have to try. The suit was thick and bulky. It made him look like a walking marshmallow. Veltar crystal skin was elegant and beautiful. Lumini energy forms were graceful and flowing. Human protection gear was ugly and awkward, but it worked. Oxygen levels good, Taman said, reading his suit display. Radiation shielding active. Cooling system online. Dr. Hyjin attached extra equipment to his suit. Emergency oxygen tanks, backup power cells, medical supplies. Human gear was always heavy because humans were always preparing for the worst. Remember, she said, your suit can handle 3,000 degrees for 30 minutes maximum. After that, the cooling system will fail. Understood. The radiation shielding will protect you from most energy, but not direct contact with plasma fire. I'll be careful. She grabbed his helmet before he could put it on. Taman, you don't have to do this. They called us fragile. They said we were too weak for dangerous missions. Taman looked at her through the helmet glass. They're still our crewmates. She nodded and stepped back. Then go save them. Taman sealed his helmet and walked to the shuttle bay. Captain Zorthak was waiting with a small rescue shuttle prepared. Are you sure about this? The captain asked. The energy readings from that ship would kill most life forms instantly. Human equipment is different, Taman said, his voice muffled by the helmet. We built it for fragile humans. We had to make it stronger. Through the comm system, they could hear the fading voices of the trapped-away team. 5 minutes, Velkani whispered. Reactor, critical, goodbye. Not goodbye, Taman said, firmly. He climbed into the shuttle. Not yet. The shuttle launched from the stellar harmony and flew toward the ancient alien ship. As they got closer, Taman could see the energy fire burning through the hull. Bright plasma leaked out like blood from wounds. Radiation levels increasing, the shuttle computer announced. Danger zone in 30 seconds. This is as far as I can take you, the shuttle pilot said. He was a nervous Kithera named Vex. Any closer and my shuttle will be destroyed. Understood, Taemin said. He moved to the airlock. When I give the signal, get back to the stellar harmony, don't wait for me. But how will you get back? I'll figure something out. Taemin opened the airlock and stepped into space. His suit's thrusters fired, pushing him toward the burning alien ship. Behind him, the shuttle turned and fled. Now he was alone in the deadly radiation field around the dying star. Radiation. Levels critical, his suit announced. Recommend immediate retreat. Override safety protocols, Taemin commanded. Emergency rescue mode. Warning accepted. Emergency mode activated. Protection time remaining. 28 minutes. The ancient ship grew larger as he approached. Up close, it was even more frightening. Energy fire burned through its hull in dozens of places. The metal itself seemed to be screaming. Taemin found the docking port where the away team's shuttle was attached. The shuttle was damaged, but still intact. He connected his suit to the airlock and forced it open. Inside the shuttle, the air was thin and hot. Taemin moved quickly to the connection with the alien ship. His heavy boots clanked on the metal floor. Away team, this is Taemin, he called over his suit radio. I'm coming to get you. Static answered him for a moment. Then Velkhani's weak voice responded. Taemin? Impossible. Too dangerous. Go back. Not happening, Taemin said. He forced open the door to the alien ship. Heat hit him like a wall, even through his suit. Where are you? Scattered. Throughout ship. Sealed doors. Cannot reach each other. Taemin stepped into the burning corridors of the ancient ship. The walls were covered with strange symbols that pulsed with angry red light. Energy fire crawled along the ceiling like living snakes. His suit's temperature warning beeped. Internal temperature rising. Cooling system at maximum. I can handle it, Taemin muttered. He moved deeper into the ship, following the sound of Velkhani's voice. The corridors were huge, built for beings much larger than any current galactic species. But they were also filled with plasma fire that would instantly kill any unprotected life form. Taemin walked through flames that would have destroyed Veltar crystal skin. He stepped over energy pools that would have disrupted Lumini phasing abilities. He breathed poisonous air that would have broken Kithera hive mind connections. His primitive human equipment protected him from it all. Velkhani, keep talking, he said. I'm following your voice. Here. Trapped behind. Sealed door. Cannot break through. Taemin found the door. It was made of the same unknown metal as the ship's hull. Energy fire burned around its edges. His suit's sensors showed Velkhani was trapped in the room beyond. Stand back, he warned. He pulled out a human plasma cutter from his toolkit. Your tools cannot cut this metal, Velkhani said weakly. But Taemin was already working. The plasma cutter was designed for the toughest jobs on human ships. It burned through the alien metal slowly but steadily. Impossible, Velkhani whispered as the door fell open. Taemin stepped into the room. Velkhani lay on the floor, her beautiful crystal skin cracked and blackened. The energy fire had damaged even her nearly indestructible body. Can you move? Taemin asked, kneeling beside her. Barely, so weak. Taemin lifted the tall Veltar woman in his arms. She was heavy, but his suit gave him extra strength. Hold on. He carried her through the burning corridors back toward the shuttle. Each step was dangerous. Energy fire tried to grab them. The ship's ancient defenses tracked their movement. Why? Velkhani asked as they moved. Why risk your fragile life for us? Because that's what humans do, Taemin replied simply. He got Velkhani to the shuttle and put her in a medical pod. Then he went back into the burning ship. 2 more Veltar in Section 7, Velkhani called weakly. 3 Kithera in Section 12. 3 Lumini in Section 15. I'll get them all, Taemin promised. For the next 20 minutes, Taemin moved through the burning alien ship like a ghost. He found Korvax trapped under fallen debris and pulled him free. He carried Braxis through corridors filled with poison, gas. He led the confused Kythera scientists through passages that scrambled their shared thoughts. Each rescue was harder than the last. The ship was falling apart around them. The reactor was building toward explosion. But Taemin kept moving, his ugly human suit protecting him from dangers that had defeated the galaxy's strongest species. Fragile human, Lumia said in wonder, as he carried her to safety. Her energy form flickered weakly. How are you doing this? Human engineering, Taemin replied. We prepare for everything because we're too weak to survive anything. When he reached the Lumini in Section 15, his suit's warning system was screaming constant alerts. Critical temperature reached, cooling system failing. Recommend immediate evacuation. Taemin ignored the warnings. He gathered the 3 weakened Lumini and began the long journey back to the shuttle. Each step was agony. His suit was breaking down, but he kept moving. Behind them, the ancient ship's reactor finally reached critical mass. Reactor explosion. In 60 seconds, the ship's ancient computer announced in a language none of them understood, but the meaning was clear. Taemin reached the shuttle just as his suit's cooling system failed completely. He pushed the last Lumini into the medical bay and sealed the door. All aboard, he gasped. Get us out of here. The shuttle's automatic systems activated and launched them away from the dying alien ship. Through the viewports, they watched as the ancient vessel exploded in a ball of energy brighter than the dying star beside it. Taemin collapsed in the pilot's seat, his suit smoking and damaged. Around him, the galaxy's strongest species lay weak and injured, saved by the galaxy's most fragile. Impossible, Velkhani whispered again. You walked through fire that destroyed our crystal skin. Human fire protection is very good, Taemin said simply. We needed it to be. As the shuttle flew back to the stellar harmony, the rescued aliens stared at the human who had saved them all. They had called humans fragile. They had called them weak. They had been wrong. The medical bay of the stellar harmony was full of activity. Dr. Hyejin moved between the injured aliens, checking their wounds and giving them medicine. Her hands worked quickly and carefully. Velkhani lay on the main medical table. Her beautiful, crystal skin was cracked in many places. Black marks covered her arms and legs where the energy fire had burned her. How bad is it? She asked Dr. Hyejin. You will heal, the human doctor replied. Veltar crystal skin is amazing. It will repair itself in a few weeks. But it broke, Velkhani said quietly. Our skin is supposed to protect us from everything. Yet that energy cut right through it. Across the room, the 3 Kythera scientists sat together. They were trying to reconnect their hive mind, but the connection was weak. The ancient ship's energy had damaged their ability to share thoughts. I feel so alone. Hexus buzzed sadly. For the first time in my life, I cannot hear my people's voices in my mind. The connection will return, Dr. Hyejin assured him. But it may take time. The 3 Lumini floated near the ceiling, their energy forms flickering weakly. They had been stuck in solid form for hours on the ancient ship. Now they could barely maintain their energy state. We almost forgot how to phase, Lumia said, in wonder. Our most basic ability, and we nearly lost it. In the corner of the medical bay, Taemin sat quietly. His hazmat suit lay in pieces around him. The thick white material was burned and melted in many places. His human clothing underneath was soaked with sweat. Dr. Hyejin finished with the aliens and came to check on him. How do you feel? Tired, Taemin said honestly. But fine. Your suit saved all of you, she said, looking at the destroyed equipment. Human engineering at its best. It was just doing its job, Taemin replied. Captain Zorthak entered the medical bay. His compound eyes looked at each of the rescued crew members, then focused on Taemin. Engineer Taemin, he said formally. I need to speak with you. Taemin stood up. Yes, Captain. In 50 years of command, I have never seen anything like what you did today, Captain Zorthak said. His voice was full of respect. You walked through energy that defeated our strongest species. I just used the right equipment, Taemin said. No, Belkani spoke from her medical table. It was more than equipment. She struggled to sit up, ignoring Dr. Hyejin's protests. Her cracked crystal face looked directly at Taemin. I called your species fragile, she said. I said humans were too weak for dangerous missions. I was wrong. You were not wrong about humans being fragile, Taemin replied. We are fragile. That is why we prepare so much. Korvex, the Veltar engineer, nodded slowly. We rely on our crystal skin to protect us. We never thought about what happens when our natural defenses fail. Humans have no natural defenses, Braxis added, so you built artificial ones, better ones. Thexus, the Kythera scientist, buzzed thoughtfully. We share minds to solve problems together, but when that connection breaks, we are helpless alone. Humans think independently from birth. Your species faces every challenge knowing you might die, Lumia said softly. That makes you braver than any of us. Taemin shook his head. I was scared the whole time. My hands were shaking. My heart was pounding. I thought I might die. But you did it anyway, Captain Zorthak observed. That is true courage. Acting despite fear, not acting without fear. Dr. Hyejin smiled proudly. Humans have been doing the impossible for thousands of years. We had to. We were too weak to do anything else. Velkani tried to stand, but her legs were too weak. Taemin quickly moved to help her. Thank you, she said quietly. You risked your fragile life to save us. Why? Because you are my crewmates, Taemin said simply. Humans do not leave people behind. Even people who treated you badly? Korvex asked. We called you weak. We said you did not belong on dangerous missions. Taemin helped Velkani sit back down. You were afraid I would slow you down or get hurt. I understand that. We were wrong, Velkani said firmly. Completely wrong. Captain Zorthak's mandibles clicked together. From now on, no mission leaves this ship without human representation. Your species brings something to our crew that we did not know we needed. What is that? Dr. Hyejin asked. The ability to succeed when everything else fails, the captain replied. Over the next few days, word of Taemin's rescue spread throughout the ship. Aliens who had never spoken to him before came to thank him. Species that had looked down on humans began asking questions about human technology and training. How do you prepare for dangers you have never seen? Vex, the shuttle pilot, asked. We imagine the worst possible situation, Taemin explained. Then we prepare for something even worse than that. Why? Vex asked. Because the universe is dangerous, Dr. Hyejin answered. And we are small and weak, so we have to be smarter and more prepared than everything trying to kill us. Velkani, her crystal skin slowly healing, began training with human emergency equipment. The bulky suits felt awkward to her, but she was learning their value. Veltar's skin is beautiful and strong, she admitted, but your suits are practical. When beauty fails, practical survives. The Kythera scientists started studying human problem-solving methods. They were amazed by how humans could work alone, without shared thoughts to guide them. Each human mind is separate, Thexus observed. Yet you cooperate as well as any hive species. How? Practice, Taemin said. And choice. We choose to work together because we want to, not because we have to. The Lumini began experimenting with human tools. Their energy forms had always been enough before, but now they wanted backup plans. Humans always have backup plans, Lumius noted. Backup equipment, backup strategies, backup people to help. Because we fail a lot, Dr. Hyejin laughed. So we learned to plan for failure. 1 week after the rescue, Captain Zorthak called Taemin to his private office. I have been thinking about what happened, the captain said, about how human weakness became our greatest strength. It was just the right tool for the job, Taemin replied. No, Captain Zorthak said. It was more than that. Other species evolved natural gifts over millions of years. Humans develop artificial gifts in just decades. Your technology advances faster than our biology ever could. He paused, looking out at the stars through his office window. I think humans are not the fragile species after all, he continued. I think you are the adaptation species. You change and grow to meet any challenge. Maybe, Taemin said. We have to. We do not have crystal skin or energy forms or hive minds. We only have each other and our tools. And your determination, Captain Zorthak added. Do not forget that. 3 months later, the Stellar Harmony faced another dangerous mission. This time, when Captain Zorthak assembled his away team, Taemin was the first name on the list. We need someone who can handle the impossible, the captain announced to the crew. We need a human. Velkani, her crystal skin fully healed, nodded, in agreement. Humans do not have the strongest bodies, but they have the strongest spirits. And the best backup plans, Korvex added with what might have been a smile. Taemin suited up in new human equipment, even more advanced than before. But as he prepared for the mission, he was not alone. Velkani practiced with human tools beside him. Kithara scientists studied human emergency procedures. Lumini practiced working without their energy forms. The aliens were learning that natural gifts were not enough. They were learning the human way. Prepare for everything, trust your tools, never give up, and never leave anyone behind. Ready? Captain Zorthak asked as the away team assembled. Ready, Taemin replied. Then let us go do the impossible, the captain said. Again. As the team prepared to leave, Dr. Haijin watched from the bridge. The galaxy had called humans fragile for 50 years. But now she knew the truth. Humans were not fragile. Humans were unbreakable. Because when you know you can break, you learn how to bend without breaking. And when you learn that lesson, nothing in the universe can truly stop you. The Stellar Harmony flew toward its next adventure. Its crew forever changed. By the day, a fragile human walked through fire to save them all.